Hi, Roy Williams with Airframe Components, and welcome to episode 7 of the Airframe Components Building Project. Today's episode, we just kind of want to go back and review not only this project, but just the entire campus of buildings that we have here. Today I have with me Scott Pounds from Leatherman Construction, and just kind of wanted to chat with him a little bit and give a history of our work with Leatherman Construction. Looking back on this whole complex of buildings we have here, the first building project we did with Leatherman Construction was in 1988. A little side note, we were working at the airport. We were in a 60 by 60 cinder block building, which was like working in a cave, no light, no heat, sparse conditions to work in. We had a customer over in Illinois that we admired their organization and how they did things. They had Morton buildings that they used. We approached a salesperson from Morton Buildings, asked about putting up a building out here. We never heard back from them. Someone suggested, hey, call Leatherman Construction over in Albion and inquire about a Butler steel building. We did that, and as they say, the rest is history. The first building, 50 by 100, it was just a storage building at that time, put up here out in the middle of a cow pasture, and it was literally a cow pasture. They had to move the livestock out of here to start construction on the first building. 1988 with that building. Since then, we've done 8 building projects with Leatherman Construction using Butler steel buildings. So we've got a long-standing relationship with you folks. What's your thoughts on that topic?
You know, back in 1988, I wasn't involved with the company then. In 2003, 5 long-term employees purchased Leatherman Construction, and it is now going into the 3rd generation of that. And this relationship, not with the Williams family and Williams Automotive, started in '88 with the original founder, but it's been carried right on, and there are very few customers that are loyal in today's world, as loyal as the Williams family has been.
So Scott, one of the things with Leatherman Construction is that our relationship between Williams and Leatherman, but also the relationship with Leatherman here in Noble County. And again, this building was put up in a cow pasture out here in the middle of nowhere. So every time we've had to do a building project, we have to go to the county board for zoning variances. And again, the Leatherman Construction name holds water with county zoning people here. Every time we've done a building project, the variances have just sailed right through. We've never had a problem with any kind of variance out here. And again, those are the type of things that I have looked for to build continuity in these building projects. Just being able to have that Leatherman name behind the construction that we're doing here.
And part of that, Roy, is a lot of it is the planning. It ties all the way back into like the planning of this building. We try to do the same thing with them. We address all the issues up front. We have a long relationship with the plan department in Noble County and quite frankly, all the governmental agencies in Noble County. We have a good reputation with the inspectors. So that helps all the way through. They know that we're not going to cut a corner or fudge on numbers just to make it
pass inspection.
Something sneak through.
Yep.
So Williams Automotive started with Pat and Paul, and then has continued on to the next generation with you, Roy. And you have treated us the same as your parents did, of being very understanding, very respectful, very considerate. The entire organization here is like that. The hours that I have spent here, not just going through the design process, but during the construction process, every one of your employees have treated everyone here with the utmost respect. And the honesty of all your employees also. they have been very good to work with. Building project, the amount of planning and discussions that we had, not just with you, but with the employees also, of what works best for the guys on the floor putting things together. We took notes, a lot of notes on a lot of things, and changed multiple things during that design process to get the most functional building that we could for you and your employees.
Yep, yep. Well, going back, like I said, 1988, the first building, 50 by 100, 5,000 square feet, and I've got a picture here of Dad and I bringing the first trailer load of wings into that building, and we had 3 or 4 wings on a flatbed trailer at that point. We had the whole truck and trailer parked inside that building, and I remember him and I having a conversation of how are we ever going to fill this building. So here we are at over 100,000 square feet under roof now, 8 different projects later, finishing up this project. I've been told by higher up powers that this is my last project, but don't tell her, maybe we'll do another one later. This has been kind of a culmination of a lot of planning. Back in 2008, 2009, you and I started talking about if we were to put up a larger building, how would we do it? And like you said, a lot of lunch conversations, a lot of just casual conversations, napkin engineering type things, trying to plan out how we would put this building up. We thought maybe about 2009, 2010, this would happen. Of course, we had the recession. We, like everybody else, kind of played everything close to the vest. But we finally got to the point where, hey, let's get this thing up here. It was what, fall of 2018, I believe, when we signed the contract, pulled the trigger on the project, had the first load of steel delivered. And then at that point, things just started rolling at that. And again, on a long-term planning process, my intent was to have the building framed up in the spring throughout the summer and then be working on the inside in the winter. But like most projects of this magnitude, things start to get behind. So we actually ended up putting the steel up in the fall and the winter.
We looked at everything of what it was going to be and cost of delay, and also to get you the best quality of product. And so, we changed things up a little bit. We did some different things on the site work. We put stone down on the building pad and erected the building off of the stone and not the concrete. We might have done that anyhow, because that way we run less of a chance of damaging the concrete and getting a better finished product for you to put the floor in after the building. So it caused we mainly had some permitting delays and approvals and some weather delays. It was a bad winter that year. And part of this, during the planning process, you and I had also discussed of phasing this through in phases, of getting the manufacturing and everything in the plant going first and then come into the office. You had offices in your other facility, and so you could operate the offices out of there and get all the internal workings of getting the wings rebuilt and out the door to service your customers at the fastest rate.
And we still have a few finishing touches to do, but for the most part, the project is complete. So from groundbreaking in fall of 2018, construction of the building in 2019, moving into the production facility January of 2020. So here we are in June of 2020, having finished up the front lobby and office area. I think this is a nice culmination of the whole project, and I've got to tell you that I am extremely happy with the outcome of the whole building. I know Shelley and Karen are both extremely happy with the outcome of the building, Ross and Nathan. The workflow, just the whole layout of the building. has been doing everything I expected it to do, and having different customers through here, other people who are in construction, commercial buildings, to come through here and see this building and give affirmation that yes, this building they can tell that has been thought out, planned, and construction has proceeded in a manner to accomplish all the goals that we set out to accomplish when we first started talking about this building.
Yeah, and that's one of the emphasis I wanted to make, the amount of input that we received. There's sometimes in a building project like this, we're dealing with one or two people. They don't necessarily consult the people doing the work. I like talking to the people that are doing the work to get some ideas, so I can suggest to the owner of saying, yeah, we could do it like this, but Roy, if you look at this may be another option. What do you think?
When we decided to go with this project, Leatherman Construction was the only company that we approached to do the construction, knowing that we wanted Butler steel buildings put up. The financing was done with our local bank here in town, the same bank we've always financed with. So we did not go looking for competing rates, competing bids, because we knew the relationship that we had with the different organizations was going to more than offset any costs that might be built into a bid system. So again, here we are, June of 2020, with a building that has exceeded all my expectations.
And thank you for that compliment. And some of our suppliers and subs, we have a long relationship and history with also. It's like Eshelman Excavating, for an example. Started out with Huey Eshelman back in the 80s, and it was continued on to this day. Is now they're on their next generation. They did all the site work, the parking lot prep, the storm sewer retention, the runway. It was a very nice project for them also. But we have some of those same relationships with our subs that you and I have, is just open and honest and trust, so we can make in-field decisions knowing that I am a buffer between you and the subs, that I'm going to negotiate the best way to do it, the most cost-effective way of doing it. May not be the cheapest, but it will be the most cost-effective. Value.
Yep.
So you can, in the future, 8 major projects with you and several minor projects with you. I've got some money now I'm willing to put down, pretty good odds there'll be something else in the future also. But no, so with relationships, we have those relationships with our subs and suppliers, Butler Steel, the Ready Mix Company, Speedway Ready Mix, for example, like the diamond polish floor.
Yep.
That's got some special aggregates in it, a special mix. We work closely with Speedway Ready Mix and their design engineers to get this mix into where it needs to be. I would like to thank you for allowing me to use my imagination on some of this. Threw a lot of ideas out and tried to listen to you and your team here of any ideas that you threw at me to see how we could accomplish that.
Yep.
It's been, as far as professionally, it's been a challenging project to try to think of and bring some of your ideas in, whether it be decor and a lot of it ties back to the decor and appearance and functionality of the building, but how we can make that so it's all, number one, legal and no violation of any codes, and to get you what you wanted and how you wanted it. So that's been a challenge, and it's been a fun project.
So Scott, this is the moment I've been waiting for here. So like I said, 1.5 years into this project, and here we are sitting on this couch having this interview. So the project has finally come to a completion, and the moment I've been waiting for, the last check of the contract. So if you would, right there, we'll we'll document this for posterity here.
Thank you very much, Roy. And this invoice was made out a week ago. And this all comes back to the trust and relationship once again. I don't believe I ever waited 30 days for payment on this entire project. I would like to thank you for that.
Well, very good. Scott, I appreciate you coming in today, and I'd like to invite customers to stop in and see this facility. Again, you know, this building project has exceeded my expectations. We're very proud of what we've accomplished here, and we'd love to show it off to anybody that wants to stop in. Of course, you can see our video progression, the different episodes we've done here showing the new building project. But again, just like to say thank you to Scott and all of his crew, and our crew out here. We had a good working relationship over the course of this project. A lot of give and take, a lot of ideas thrown back and forth, and like I said, the end result is very outstanding, and we're proud to show it off. But thank you so much for tuning in to all these different episodes of this building project, and stay tuned for future episodes of building projects and aircraft projects.